known as the Nude Blogger, but recently her non-sexual images were deemed inappropriate by Instagram, and they shut down what she says is a body-positive account, which had almost 43,000 followers. Jessa, really lovely to meet you today.
Thank you, Amy.
This must have come as a bit of a shock to you. I've seen the images in question, and they're very tasteful nudes. They don't show anything particularly revealing. Josie and I were talking about it this morning and saying, well, there's a bit of bum in there, and you're doing particular poses, but there's nothing even slightly sexual about them. What did you think when you realised your account had been closed?
It was definitely a slap in the face. My nude images are there to promote body positivity and, encourage people to be comfortable in the skin that they're in. And there was never any full frontal nudity. The photos there were never there to be sexually suggestive or provocative in any way. In my view, there's nothing more natural than being naked, so it's just me in my most natural form.
What happens in that instance? Do you just go to open up your Instagram account and you receive a message? How does it happen?
Yeah, so I remember the night very clearly, and I went to go into my account, and it just automatically logged me out, and that had happened previously, just my internet playing up. So I thought that was the case, and I tried to log in numerous times, and it just kept coming up with an error message. And I went to my housemate, and she said, she's like, babe, I think your account's been deactivated. And so, I just followed the steps and reached out to Instagram. They give you a number of steps to follow and an incident number to log. And, I had to send through a photo of my face, so showing my face holding up a piece of paper with the incident number and my name on there and my account username, and I'm yet to hear a thing back.
Wow, so how long ago was this, Jessa?
That was nearly 3 weeks ago, coming up to 3 weeks.
Okay, so that's quite some time, especially if you're relying, or your followers are relying on you. 43,000 people follow your page. How do you then get in touch with your followers? Is there any way?
No, not really. So, at the end of June, I launched my website. So I built this blog, the Nude Blogger, really on Instagram as the foundation, and built my following through Instagram with the intention of always launching a website where there'd be a lot more detailed content. So I had subscribers, but nowhere near the amount of followers I had on Instagram. So I was able to reach out to them and family and friends, but the rest of the followers, there's no way of contacting them or letting them know because, I wasn't given, I suppose, warning prior to the shutdown or deactivation. So there's no way I could have warned them that it's going to be shut down and, potentially go and follow another account or something. Yeah.
It's mind-boggling, really, and it must stun you. No doubt you've spoken to a lot of people and looked at a lot of other Instagram accounts. You only have to go to the Kardashians, for example, and quite explicit images on their accounts. How does this add up?
Yeah, it's something I definitely have spoken about in my blog, and there seems to be, in my view, a real double standard. That social media only seems to exacerbate these days. So my account was there to do the complete opposite. And, that's, I suppose, was me trying to make a difference. The nude photos was me trying to say, hey, we don't need to sit there and pose and, be narcissistic or anything like that. So, to see all those accounts and scroll through, and it's your everyday accounts that you wouldn't even bat an eyelid at that really are just propagating like narcissism and I believe, body image issues. And, it's a real slap in the face when my account was there to do anything but that.
Certainly not about objectification. Jessa O'Brien is my guest. She's a nudist from Mermaid Beach, as well as many other things, of course, and is also known as the Nude Blogger. Recently, her non-sexual images were deemed inappropriate by Instagram, and they shut down her body-positive account. What prompted you then to start the Nude Blogger, Jessa?
So in 2015, I recently worked in politics for around 4 years and lost my job, through an election. So I did a 7-month solo backpacking trip, which just completely changed my life. And then it wasn't, I've been frequenting nude beaches for so long and, didn't think anything of it, and it wasn't until I found myself at a clothing optional campsite in Montenegro that I really got a glimpse into the nudist lifestyle. So I just absolutely fell in love with it, to be honest, and it was just such a natural way of being. It was, sitting down with people having dinner absolutely naked.
Yeah.
So in my eyes, that became quite normal, and it wasn't until I met my now boyfriend at the start of last year. Look, I was funnily enough looking for a nude beach when I met him, and found myself at a nudist resort in Noosa, and he picked me up from this nudist resort, which he was just like, it's just so odd. And he's like, you should write about it, because I was thinking about starting a health blog. But he's like, you should write about those experiences. And a lot of people have said that, yeah, I should write about those experiences, because my view on them is, I've got quite an open mind going into those sorts of things and believe in, cultivating tolerance. So, yeah, I started writing about it.
Who goes to nudist retreats?
So that's another thing, to be honest. It usually is an older demographic. I'm 28 years old, so it is usually an older demographic. So I did find myself to be usually one of the younger ones, and a lot of people at these resorts have acknowledged that. So I then joined with the community Young Nudists of Australia, where there are more like-minded younger nudists trying to, reach out to a younger demographic and let people know that younger people do partake in this lifestyle as well. So they're just your everyday people, really.
Yeah. Who are just, and what are their main motivations in getting nude, going to a retreat, hanging out with other people who are nude?
Yeah, so I found a lot of the time it's usually a partner's interested in going, and they'll bring their partner along. But I found that it's definitely people, I started going to a nude beach because I actually felt rather uncomfortable at surf beaches, having people, ogle you in a bikini, and was feeling like, people look at you like an object as you walked along the beach. So I found myself going to secluded beaches and going to places where, I could just take my bikini top off and not have people ogle me and find it odd. So that's how I started going to.
So you find there's less sexual objectification for a man or a woman in a nudist environment?
Most definitely. That's what drew me to it, was the fact that I can walk around at a nude beach most of the time. There's exceptions, but most of the time, and you feel there's no judgment, no matter what shape, size. There's just none of that.
I was going to say, do you sort of see people, and is everyone pretty toned and taut?
No, not at all. And that's the thing. Nobody thinks a thing when they look. Nobody's looking at someone according to what shape or size. And that's what really drew me to the nudist lifestyle, was the freedom to express yourself authentically, despite what body shape, size, colour, any bumps or anything like that. So there's a lot of liberation and a lot of freedom that comes with that.
Without sounding crass, what's it like in winter? Surely these retreats that's popular.
I'm from Victoria, so definitely winter time.
The nudist scene,
is a lot more quiet. So, that's a big reason. Up here the weather's so much better for that. And there are some really nice retreats and beaches around. There's no legal nude beaches in Queensland just yet.
No.
But there's one just across the border, and there are some retreats. So up here is much better for it. But in Victoria, it's much quieter.
Yeah. Jessa O'Brien is my guest. She, are you offended when I say you're a nudist? Because you say many other things. Are you a person who's partial to nudity, or?
Yeah, for me, it's for people to grasp what I suppose what I engage in, a nudist would be fitting.
Yeah.
It's just
because we're all nudists underneath.
Well, that's right. We've all got a naked body.
So the philosophy behind the blog is about health, and it's about body image. Why did this situation, I suppose, enrage you so much? I suppose I can answer that question in that you are trying to promote body image.
Yeah.
How does it feel when you are struggling against social media?
Yeah, it was definitely a hurdle. I knew in the back of my mind I was going to come up against, because, the current dogma doesn't really serve body acceptance. It really promotes the opposite, if anything, because a lot of industries wouldn't be surviving the way they are if people were just happy in the skin that they're in. So, it's a struggle, and I know it's one I'm probably going to continue to face, but you know, I believe you've got to be the change you wish to see in the world. It's one of my biggest mottos, and so I'm going to continue to, you know, try and raise awareness despite, you know, I'm up against some pretty big some pretty tough battles, I'd say, but